All right, guys, welcome back to another interview on MMAUnhinged. Today I'm joined by Joseph Holmes, UFC middleweight, taking on Alen Amedovski, coming up on May 25th. How's it going?
I'm great. It's May 21st also, but I'm
Okay.
awesome, brother.
I mean,
No
I'm
big
so
deal.
I get I'm so I see. I had 21.05 on my notes right next to me, but yeah, May 21st. Sorry about that, but yes, you're taking
No.
on Alan Amedovski on May 25th,
Mhm.
21st. But before we get to that, I know you've got a few weeks left. First and foremost, I want to ask, and how's the camp gone? How are you feeling right now?
Camp's going great, man. It's been my longest camp I've ever had. So just balancing everything and not doing things too early or waiting too long to start doing things has kind of just been the only struggle. But been able to get a lot of work in and with my cardio especially, and just been able to focus on our game plan for a long time has been great. So the camp's been awesome. Last week I would say was probably my best week of the camp, and that followed right into this week. So camp's been awesome, bro.
Yeah, I saw in your story, your Instagram story today, you tagged James Krause in it. You said it was an intense week. So I gathered he's put you through your paces this week.
Oh man, he's worked the shit out of me this week, man. We got to get two mitt works in before training this week, which normally we'll slide one good, one-on-one mitt work in. So that's been good. And the guys, like we have a couple of different other guys who are getting into their camps also. So the room's just been full of energy, and everybody seems really hungry to push you, and the pace has just been super high. So camp's been extreme, man.
Yeah, I've got to credit James Krause over there at the Glory MMA. I feel like what he's built over there. I'm not too sure where we left it off. I asked you. We'll continue straight. We'll continue going. I asked you about James Krause and what they're building over there at Glory MMA is something different compared to ATT and AKA. Is that how it feels inside the gym? That the chemistry and the morale feels different?
Yeah, I mean, all the guys over there really like they all seem to really care about the growth of you. Like even if they're not focusing on themselves, like I catch most guys like always asking me, like how are you doing? What do you need to work on? Things like that. So, whoa, did I lose you?
No, no, we're still good. We're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so no, the chemistry is awesome. Like the moment like I started training there, I just noticed I hit it off with all the guys. Like even with Krause, like me and my head coach are really close. And one of the main things we do to bond is like we'll go eat and like we'll share our food basically off our plate. Just to kind of try everything. And the very first day I met Krause, that's kind of how he was. He was the same way, just like, offering me food just to taste it off his plate. He took me to his favorite restaurant, Jack Stack, and just since then I was like, yeah, I need to be with Krause, and the chemistry is just awesome.
Yeah, so it seems like you got a little bit of a bromance going on. I hope you took him to your favorite place after.
Yeah, no, I haven't got to take him to my favorite place, but hopefully he can get out to Dallas soon.
I'm not too sure. Is the girlfriend or the wife? She accepted this?
I mean, yeah, she likes Krause. She approves of Krause. So yeah, my
I
girlfriend's
love
pretty.
it.
She approves of everything I got going on.
I love it. I mean, James Krause is a phenomenal person. He was a fantastic fighter, but I feel like that coach role, it really suits him.
Yeah, it just works, man. Because I've been a fan of James Krause forever. So the moment I got with Iridium Sports and noticed Krause was managed under them too, I reached out immediately asking if I could go train with him, and it's been one of the best decisions we've made as a professional.
100%, I do agree. But before we move on to the important fight against Alen Amedovski, I want to go back to a few fights ago on the Contender Series. You had a fight on the Contender Series. You won that fight. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way. You didn't get the contract that night. Describe to me what it feels like when you're a fighter and you're sitting in that seat and you're waiting for possibly a life changing opportunity.
Well, that's kind of just it's kind of just well, for starters, when I was sitting in that seat, my management's so good and like so close with all the higher ups in the UFC that I already knew I wasn't getting a the contract on that one. And it wasn't like because I wasn't good enough or anything like that. I'm just super young, like and super young in the sport as a professional fighter. So that's just one thing, as somebody matching up fights, that would make it pretty difficult, to match me up with certain people because you know what I mean? Like, oh, does he need to, have a couple more fights and, build his record? Or, is he ready to just go all the way? So when I was sitting in that seat, I already was aware I wasn't getting a contract. So it was just a little embarrassing, like, to just sit there, like, oh, everybody else is getting contracts, but they had way worse fights than I did. Like, I knocked my guy straight out. So to not get a contract after that is a little strange, but hey, it all worked out for the better.
Exactly, because the next fight you went on to go and do it anyway. But there's different ways a fighter can take that, as you talked about that embarrassing moment. And I feel like you've took it, with the way you took it. In the next fight, you got the contract. After not getting the contract, how did you take that personally?
After not getting the contract, I mean, I kind of took it to heart for a sec, and I was a little bit bummed out, but then again, I still got paid, still got a win, you know what I mean? And I still got another opportunity in front of Dana. I felt like it helped me get a little bit closer with Dana, kind of like allowed him to get to know me a little bit better, and understand where I'm coming from, and and I come from a genuine, like I just want to get better in this. I'm not like most of these guys, like, oh, I'm just trying to get paid. So, it definitely just worked out the way it was supposed to, and I turned around and I felt like I became a better fighter just because on my next fight, I overcame adversity. I got hit in the balls really bad and then just turned around and starched the guy in the first round. So I definitely feel like that may not have happened if they didn't take the route that they took with, not giving me that contract yet and making me take another fight and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you put it perfectly there. In your next fight, you got the contract. So you went from a low sort of thing. And then as soon as straight away in your next fight, you get awarded that contract. So now you get to tell me the different stories. So how did it feel when you got officially told that UFC fight?
I was on cloud nine. I don't know if you've seen the video. I just couldn't help but just yell. I was just like, yeah! I was just like, hell yeah! So just getting that contract, it was just perfect because that's what I've been working towards since I started. I already knew I was going to get to the UFC. My managers knew I was going to get to the UFC. They constantly reminded me, like, it's just a matter of time. My head coach knew I was going to get to the UFC, and I was the first fighter out of my gym, SFS MMA, to get to the UFC. So it's all just working out the way it's supposed to, and it feels amazing, man. And that's why I just got to work harder and harder all the time just so I can continue to make myself and everybody around me proud.
Yeah, and James Krause was in your corner that fight as well. And it seemed like he was your wingman as well because Dana walked up to him and he says, "Is he ready?" And then James Krause, it didn't take him any seconds to say you were ready. It felt like he gave Dana that judgment and just to persuade to get you on the UFC roster. So I believe James Krause not only is your coach, he wingmaned you that day as well.
No, absolutely. James Krause is an awesome MMA coach. And I got my head coach, Anthony Salangsang, who is new to the scene, but he's definitely the one that, keeps my head straight. And, without my head coach, like, I feel like things would just be totally different. Now, James does have those connections with Dana, which helps big time. And then as well as, not only do I have to get him there and show it, but James Krause can kind of back that up and have that personal relationship with Dana to be like, no, I see this guy every day in training. He's beyond ready. You'd be stupid not to take him, so definitely.
Absolutely. And we've talked about the personal relationship with James Krause, but how's he helped you develop as a fighter?
James just has that experience, man. He has that experience, and not only just that, he has, like, all these other guys who are there, too. So it's just like James can kind of see things and be like, well, you're good with this, but for this opponent, we definitely need to focus on, this, like, definitely need to focus on that jab and then that, that head kick and, and just kind of like singling out the certain things that I do well that are going to work great against the opponent that we have. Whereas my head coach is constantly like, nitpicking at the things that I'm not doing super well and, helping me focus on, becoming a better fighter as a whole, like, making sure I'm seeing all my trainers, all my strength and conditioning coaches, making sure I'm talking with my nutritionist, making sure I'm eating all my meal preps or making sure my girlfriend's, making my meals the way they're supposed to be. So it all just works out perfect. I definitely think I have one of the best teams right now because my management does a great job keeping me confident, letting me know that things are, just to stay patient and things are coming and, just listen to your coaches. And then I have my coaches kind of, doing their jobs as well. Everything's just working out very perfectly.
Yeah, and now you're inside the UFC. I presume the dream was always to get inside the UFC. I know you started your career in Bellator. You had your pro debut in Bellator. The UFC debut didn't go your way, but you got a second fight against Alen Amedovski. How does that one play out in your eyes?
Me and Alen Amedovski. Well, shit, I'm ready for 3 rounds. I'm ready for a 3 round nasty, ugly fight. That's what I've been preparing for, because I've came to the realization that all these guys are going to be durable. All these guys are going to be hungry. Now, as far as what round I think I'll finish him in, I'm ready to finish him in any round. I'm definitely going to grapple fuck the shit out of him, and I'm going to punch him in his mouth, as much as I can. So, as long as he's been training the way he's supposed to with his grappling, then it should be a 3 round blood war. But his grappling hasn't been his best friend, his whole career. So, that's just where I'm great. I'm the best at on the ground, and then I'm even better now on the feet. So, I'm looking to finish him, but I'm ready to go all 3 rounds if that's what has to happen.
Yeah, Amedovski, your opponent, he's been outside the cage for 2.5 years. Do you see that playing a factor on fight day?
Oh, absolutely. I've been extremely active, and I don't see him not being active working in his favor. Maybe he'll be fresh, maybe he won't. Maybe his weight cut will be extremely hard. I know he's really short fighting at a heavy weight, so I imagine his weight cut's not very fun, so yeah, I mean, I've been extremely active. I've been fighting the last 4 years back to back to back, and this was the longest camp I've ever had. So yeah, I mean, I see it playing a huge factor in our fight for sure.
So if you don't mind me asking, when did your camp start? And as you talked about, it's been the longest one.
Wait, sorry?
I said if you don't mind me asking, when did your camp start? As you just said there, it's the longest one.
My camp started. This is the last 2 weeks. I had 3 months when I got the call. So what month is it right now? March?
May.
So
March.
dude, I'm telling you, I'm tired, bro. I just got out of training. But I think I got the call for this fight in February. March, April, May. Yeah, February they gave me this fight. Wow. Yeah, a month after I fought Jamie, they were calling me to. Once I got cleared, that's what it was. Once I got cleared for my stitches from the Jamie Pickett fight, they already had something they were trying to book up for me. So it's been about 3 months since February.
Wow, and you were straight into the camp straight away as soon as the phone call?
Well, I was already into a camp before the phone call. I was already training hard with my stitches, just being really, really careful. Because I haven't had a camp, like I said. This is the first time ever I've had a camp out of 15 fights. So wow. I was already expecting to get a fight in March. I thought they would have booked me for then. So I was already camping. I was already with my strength and conditioning coach doing cardio. I had picked up a new boxing coach, Mickey, out in Dallas, on the Mickey team, who's been just pushing me hard as far as volume and strikes and cardio overall. So yeah, I had already been in camp. So when they gave me that call, I just started planning with my girlfriend and her work schedule to get to Kansas City so I can get with James Krause.
Yeah, I hope it plays off, and I believe it's going to pay off. I think this is a fantastic fight. And as you mentioned, they're going to go to war. Going to be an entertaining fight for the fans. Alen Amedovski, he's had a lot of finishes in his career, and you've had a lot in your career. So, and as you predicted there, you said, I'm going to finish him, and it could be in any round.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking for a finish. I'm looking to hurt him. I'm looking to take him down, destroy his gas tank, really, really hurt him. But like I said, these guys are super durable, so I'll be ready to try and hurt this fool for 3 rounds.
100%. So we'll move over from the fight talk. I know it's a lot to talk about. When you want to get to the fight, but here we are talking about a fight. So I know it's a little bit jarring, should we say, for you. But moving over, we'll have a little some fun questions now. Excuse me if I'm wrong. I'm British. I'm not very good at American football. But you started as a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Is it Arkansas Tech University?
Yeah, Arkansas Tech University. I was a DN, so I was a little bigger. I was probably 225 at the time. A lot stronger, bigger, but it was just for a different purpose. American football is really intense. And I'm from Texas, so that's one of the biggest sports in Texas. So, yeah, I started off as a bigger guy, bigger, more aggressive guy for sure.
Yeah, see, I wasn't too sure about that, but I'm British, but these British guys do know American football knowledge. What are we saying? But anyway, so how have them skills from your American football career transpired over to MMA?
Well, I've noticed that I throw a lot of kicks. I have really strong legs, really strong power in my kicks. I don't really have to try for them to be powerful. And I know that has a lot to do with all the things I've done when I was playing football and the size of my legs and things like that. but also like when I wanted to get big for this fight, like I wanted to gain some muscle mass, I was already ready to, my body was already ready to make that adaptation with the weights and, already knew the form of all the, power cleans and bench pressing and squats and stuff. So that really helped having that football background in the past.
100%. I did have a question in my mind, but it slipped out of my head. But there we go. Was it always American football when you were a kid? Is that what you wanted to be?
No. I was an orchestra nerd at the time, and I wasn't super outdoorsy or physical or anything like early on as a kid. And then it just took one guy convincing me like I should go play football my freshman year in high school, actually. And that just kind of changed everything for me, just joining football, because I realized I was a lot more athletic than I thought, and I had a lot more potential. I had height, which was a huge advantage that I didn't realize was such an advantage at the time, like before I started playing football. So football changed my life.
100%. So a few fun questions. Would you rather win a Super Bowl or a UFC championship?
UFC championship for sure.
And then if you had to choose to play with Tom Brady or fight Anderson Silva, and both in their prime, which one?
Like,
Oh,
Anderson's a little scary in his prime. And I can't. I'm back. I got
hello.
you back.
Have we got you?
Yeah, got me.
Okay, I didn't catch you with the last
Can you hear
bit.
me good?
Yeah, I didn't catch you with the last question.
No, I was saying Anderson Silva was definitely scary in his prime, but Tom Brady is a quarterback and I can't catch, so I'd probably dance with Anderson Silva.
Yeah, I don't know where defensive lineman plays, so maybe my knowledge ain't that good. It's defensive,
No,
but I mean, you're in that little formation at the front, maybe?
Yeah, with my hand in the dirt. About to
Yeah,
go up with those
that's
Fat
the
Boys.
one. Are you the one shouting "hut" or are you the one just running them?
I'm the one charging at the guy shouting "hut."
See, I haven't got a clue. I'm so sorry, I can't really
It's
speak about it.
okay,
But
man. I detached from football as soon as I got into MMA, so I totally understand.
so, do you like soccer? Like, I could talk about soccer.
My girlfriend's soccer background, but not me much.
Oh wow. Are you like a big soccer fan? Did you have any like when you support over here in the UK?
No. I literally only pay attention to my sport, honestly.
Well, I'm going to diagnose you a West Ham fan. Here we are.
Hell yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
That'll be my team then too. West Ham.
West Ham United. That's who you
West
support
Ham.
right here.
Got you. That's my team now, officially.
You see that behind me? That's our flag. It's we're claret and blue. But yes, that's who you support right now.
Got you. West Ham. Let's go.
Absolutely. So my last question is: fast forward a week past the fight, how are fans going to describe it?
They're gonna describe it as seeing my progress. They're gonna see, that I got completely better from my first fight in the UFC, and I guarantee my fans are gonna be proud of me for all the strides I made to get that victory. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Joseph, for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. I had an absolute laugh. I wish you the best of luck against Alen Amedovski on May 21st. And it's going to be an absolute pleasure to see you fight and see you get your hand raised. I'm sure you're going to put on a better performance and get your first win inside the UFC, which is only you're looking for.
Yes, sir, Lenny. Thanks so much for your time, man.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, and have a good rest of your road trip.
Yes, sir. You too. You be safe.